What's up, Thursday? Welcome on into Let's Bet It, presented by Superbook Sportsbook. It is Christmas morning, Jared. Santa is coming, ho, 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 because NFL Week 1 is officially here, and it kicks off with one of the most exciting games I think that we're going to have here in Week 1, at least. The Bills taking on reigning Super Bowl champs in the Rams. How pumped are you? How do you feel right now? Could you even sleep last night? Were you so excited getting up this morning?
So excited. The alarm at 5 a.m. I just popped right up. It was not even groggy or actually the dog woke me up this morning. He's been feeling under the weather the last couple of days, but I am very excited about today. It's baseball, right? We've got like 7 MLB games we're going to talk about today, right? That's like all that's happening in sports.
That's actually, we're only talking about baseball today. Just kidding. You've been punked. We are talking all Thursday night football, line movement in Week 1. We're going to have Bobby Stanley, Prop Holiday, on to talk about some Thursday night football props heading into tonight. We'll talk about our bets. So let's get into it. Let's bet it, Jared. Why the heck not? Okay, let's get right into it with NFL Week 1. Thursday night football preview. The Bills taking on the reigning Super Bowl champions in the LA Rams. Will the Rams have a Super Bowl hangover? We will see. Are the Bills still carrying that chip on their shoulder after the loss to the Chiefs in the postseason? We'll see. Von Miller from the Rams to the Bills. He said there's no weakness this week when it comes to Aaron Donald. So that matchup is going to be interesting. Ken Dorsey making his debut as the offensive coordinator for the Bills. Matt Stafford is 100% healthy. Said the other day he feels like he can make any throw he wants to on the field. And also Dawson Knox and Stephon Diggs, both fully healthy. Good pass threats for Josh Allen. I'm so excited for the game tonight. What is the biggest thing that stands out to you when you look at Week 1, Game 1, Thursday Night Football?
Yeah, Dawson Knox got paid, right? I don't know if it was this week or last week, but he should be paying for the pregame meal, right, for the entire team after that contract. All right, there's definitely some interesting things that are taking place in this game from a trend perspective, and we'll tackle those first, and then we'll get into the matchups, and then we'll get into the props with Prop Holiday. But the first thing we need to at least wrap our brains around, there is a massive trend that is telling us to bet the Rams tonight, and that is the Super Bowl winner in the last 21 seasons is 18-3 straight up in Week 1. Just 13-6-2 against the spread, but in this case, that doesn't matter because the spread's like 1.5, 2. So if the Rams cover the spread, odds are, unless they lose by 1, which is very rare, they are going to win the game. So that is the first trend.
18-3? 18-3 in Week 1?
I shit you not, my friend. Would I lie to you on this show? I would never lie to you.
No. I would hope not, Gerard.
18-3 straight up. The Super Bowl winner in the last 21 seasons in Week 1. The Von Miller angle is fascinating to me. It's one thing for you to switch teams and leave a Super Bowl champion to another team. That's fair. Yeah. But the irony of that team playing the team that you went to, playing your former team, who is raising the banner that you helped win in Week 1, I think is a fascinating nugget to chew on. Home field advantage here will not be a factor. I'm dropping a column today, my weekly best bets column on Pickswise.com. We discussed this. We talked to one of the bookmakers from Superbook. Casey Degnan does a fantastic job in giving us a lot of these trends and angles and nuggets to chew on. He's got home field advantage tonight, pegged at about 1.5. He thinks Bills Mafia is going to be out in full force in LA. I can totally see that happening. In general, home field advantage has been a playoff trend over the last few years. Week 1 home teams since, I think, 2014, covering at just 44%. Home field advantage ain't 3 points like it used to be. It's now like 2 or even closer to 1.5 in a game like tonight. And you mentioned Brian Daboll going to Ken Dorsey at offensive coordinator now. So the Bills they lose their top OC. Ken Dorsey enters. Great career at Miami as a player. Not a great career in the NFL. We'll see how he does as an offensive coordinator. That is a very intriguing question for me as we move forward. What does the Bills offense look like without the mastermind who is now the head coach of the New York Giants? Lots of things to chew on tonight. Lots of things. But those are the ones that are sticking out to me from a narrative perspective.
Yeah, Ken Dorsey knows quarterbacks. Like him and Josh Allen were
Sure.
working together now for 3 seasons at this point. So it does make sense that he's making that jump. They already have that chemistry on the offensive side of things between him and Josh Allen. So also, by the way, did you see that TikTok that the Bills posted yesterday about the social media team set up a trick shot in the locker room with a bunch of pans and a ping pong ball, and they had to like hit it off of all the pans into like the
I
red
didn't
solo
see
cup
that.
at the end of it. It's like a trick shot. I'll send it to you after the show. Everyone that
Please
is
send it.
watching, go to TikTok, go to Buffalo Bills TikTok. It was hilarious. But everyone tries it like 2-3 times. Josh Allen sits down, he goes, and he missed it for like, I think it was like 45 minutes, but they obviously cut it shorter. He goes, I can't get up. It's in my blood. I have to make at least one. And he finally like made one after 45 minutes. But I'm like, that shows the kind of guy Josh Allen is. That's the guy I want as my quarterback. But in terms of the Bills traveling, breaking hearts, smashing tables, heading to LA, why not? I think that they're going to have a pretty good showing there as well. But let's talk about the game preview, because right now, Bills, the spread's set at 2. The Rams, the underdog. The total right now, depending on where you're looking, is kind of like 51 to 53. It's been kind of vacillating over the last couple of days. Right now, the Bills odds to win the Super Bowl plus 550, to win the AFC is plus 280. Their win total is set at 11.5. The Rams odds to win the Super Bowl 12-1. To win the NFC plus 550, their win total is set at 10.5. It looks like they're going to make maybe a little bit of a regression from last year. The Bills obviously higher up in terms of being the Super Bowl favorites heading into this season. But one of my bets, it's actually my best bet, is I really like the first quarter under. I feel like you talked about Ken Dorsey. These teams might be kind of taking a dip with their toes into the playbook. And I feel like maybe no one's going to want to make the first offensive mistake. So I think it's going to start off slow, at least on the offensive side. And also we talk about the ceremony that they're going to have before the game. You
Yes.
see this in the Super Bowls too. You see this in a lot of these games. They're warming up and then they sit there for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And they're not really doing anything. And I feel like they get nervous. Their body's kind of starting to cool down. And then they go out there. No one's going to give 110% in the first quarter after not really being warmed up and sitting there for a ceremony. So we'll see what happens. I don't know what it's going to take when it gets to that. But we'll see what happens in terms of that. When you look at some of these bets that you're going to make for the first game of the season, what are you looking at and how are you betting this game, this Thursday night football game that we are looking at?
Whew. I like your first quarter angle. I do, especially at 10.
Thank you. It's actually my best
So
bet of the
10
day. I'll get more into it at the end of the show for my best bet of the day.
Sure.
But I just gave a little teaser for you.
No, I like it. And first quarter totals will be something that I keep a very close eye on this year. Similar to my Nerfy sheet, I am constructing a similar sheet for first quarters. And I don't have any data yet to really put it out for week 1. I am in the beta testing phase now. Yeah, I'm in the beta testing phase of it now. But I will say this, first quarter totals will be something we pay attention to this year. We'll have, I don't know if a segment on it every week, but there'll be at least a tweet about it every week with my sheet. So love your look on the first quarter. The narrative totally fits. Raising the banner. Teams start a little bit slow. They get a little clammy. Totally get it. From a matchup perspective here, let's kind of look at both sides. Why will the Rams cover this game? Let's dive into that. Well, I have some questions about the Buffalo offensive line. David Quisenberry comes over from Tennessee. He plays right tackle now. He was good last year. It was his first full season as a starter, graded out well, but better as a run blocker than a pass blocker, according to the grades. That's not what Buffalo wants to do. They want to protect the passer as long as possible so Josh Allen could do his thing. So we'll see what that transition is like at right tackle. Very important position. The interior of the right side of the offensive line for Buffalo also was a question for me. Ryan Bates did not grade out well last year in 294 snaps. That was a career high for him. Prior to that, he hadn't played over 100 snaps in any of his first 2 previous seasons. What does that look like? A completely new right side of the offensive line, basically, with Bates and Quisenberry trying to gel, Quisenberry being more of a run blocker. The left side of the offensive line for Buffalo, I think, is pretty solid. Deion Dawkins, Pro Bowler, Roger Saffold also comes over from Tennessee.
Yeah.
I think if there is going to be a strength of a run side for Buffalo, it's going to be on the left. And that's Josh Allen's blind side, too, which is also very helpful. Why the Bills are going to cover this game? Well, Josh Allen, listen, he's the best player on the field, period, end of story. At any given moment, he is the man for this Buffalo team. I'm a little concerned about the Rams' defensive front. besides Leonard Floyd, we know about Von Miller now in Buffalo. So you get Leonard Floyd still left. Besides that, on the edge for the Rams, Justin Hollins, Terrell Lewis, Chris Garrett. In 6 combined seasons, 61 quarterback pressure in all 3 of them. Not a ton of depth or experience at that key rush edge position for the Rams. If Leonard Floyd gets hurt, God forbid, there is nothing at the top of the Rams depth chart in terms of getting after the passer, which is going to help Aaron Donald in the middle do his thing. That's the big concern for the Rams. How do they respond from losing Von Miller? Also, Odell Beckham out. Van Jefferson out. You're relying on Allen Robinson and Ben Skoranek as your 2 and 3 receivers tonight behind Cooper Kupp. What does that look like with Matthew Stafford? New receiver, Allen Robinson, he's never played with before, and Ben Skoranek, who, let's be honest, is not a top-tier guy underneath Cooper Kupp. So there's questions on both sides, but I think there's fewer questions with the Bills. Slightly fewer questions with the Bills. That's why I would probably lead Buffalo in this game, and the over, by the way.
Yeah, which is why at this point they are the favorites for this game is the Buffalo Bills. It's going to be interesting to see what Josh Allen's able to do for that team, how he's going to lead them this season. This is like a game. Like this is a really big game to kind of put your stake in. Hey, we mean business this year. We're here for this crap. Like the Bills are going to want to come out firing. And obviously I'm a huge Josh Allen fan. My fantasy draft this year, he was selected literally the pick before I had him queued up to pick him. I got Patrick Mahomes, which I'm still happy about, but I wanted Josh Allen more than anything in the world. It's okay. Let's talk about some props that I have for today. So I like Matt Stafford over 23.5 completions at minus 130. You can pay a little less juice if you add an extra completion in there. You could get it at over 24.5 at minus 105 if you look at DraftKings. But I got it over 23.5, minus 130. I feel a little better. Just that one completion less makes me feel a little bit better, and I'm willing to pay a little extra juice for it. But I looked at his props last season. He finished 10 and 11 last year in going over his completion prop. And he lived kind of in that range between 23.5 to 25.5 that some of these books are offering. I think week 1 is a really good spot for him, especially for this prop, because the Bills are sitting as a league average covering unit back in 2021. And tonight, guess who they're without? Tre'Davious White. So they have to choose between rookie options to replace him as quarterback 1. I could see the Rams trying to attack that weakness, playing a fast-ish paced game as the game goes on. But I really do think that this could be a major advantage for the Rams passing game in terms of Matt Stafford being able to get those completions and being able to take advantage of their quarterbacks without Tre'Davious White in the lineup tonight. So I like 23.5. I took the over at minus 130.
Good number.
The other one I'm looking at is Stephon Diggs. Thank you. The other one I'm looking at is Stephon Diggs anytime touchdown at plus 120. You know me. I just like to have a good anytime touchdown prop. The other one I was looking at was Knox as well, because honestly, he's been targeted in the red zone a lot. But I really like Stephon Diggs. I like the number at plus 120. He's found the end zone 18 times in his 2 seasons with the Bills. He's been Allen's favorite target since being acquired from the Vikings. Josh Allen throws absolute bullets. Why not take a little stab? I have a half unit on it. Stephon Diggs, anytime touchdown at plus 120. So I have 3 bets on the game tonight. I'm still going to go over my first quarter under a little bit more towards the end of the show because it's my best bet of the day. When you're looking at this game, I know on the sheet you have Josh Allen over 36.5 pass attempts. Why do you like that number?
Yeah, shout out to Clev TA. So we're going to hear from Bobby Stanley, Prop Holiday, in a moment, but there's a second piece of the NFL prop puzzle, the analyst puzzle that we have new at Pickswise on the NFL roster this year. Clev TA has been a fantastic gambler, a tremendous track record. I think I might be misquoting, but I want to say he's between 55 and 60% on his super contest plays over the last few seasons. And fantastic get hire for Pickswise. He is going to be analyzing Thursday night and Monday night games on the site this season.
Let's go.
And we are going to be bringing his analysis to life here on the show as much as possible when I see fit. And I see fit tonight because he has a tremendous prop look on Josh Allen's pass attempt. So he's got over 35.5 on the site, laying 25 cents on FanDuel right now. On some of the other shops here in town, it's hovering at 36.5 less juice. I'm okay with paying less juice for over 36.5 because TA's got it up to 37 on the site. So I feel confident in paying about 10 cents less, minus 114, to go over 36.5. And the handicap is relatively simple. The Bills were number 1 in the NFL in neutral game pass rate last season. And if Clev TA assumes, like he has in his write-up, that this game is going to be competitive, then we expect Josh Allen to be slinging it all over the yard. And this is a number that he went over more often than not games last year. So his average was 47.2 pass attempts if you exclude the win game that they played against the Patriots, that weird Monday night game that was just like a complete fluke. So over the course of the entire season, Allen averaged over 37 attempts per game. So over 36.5 feels like a very fair number on opening night in a high total game, in a game that should be competitive, where Buffalo isn't going to have a huge lead and they're just going to run the clock in the second half. So that is my only official play that I am bestowing to you, the Pickswise audience, today. It's on the site, over 36.5 attempts, giving it out here on the show. It's my first NFL bet of the season. And it's my only one for tonight. So let's get it, baby. Let's get it.
Yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's bet it. As we bring in Prop Holiday, we got more props to talk about. He probably has a lot on his slate today. Let's bring in Bobby Stanley, otherwise known as Prop Holiday, to talk Thursday night football, prop bets. Prop Holiday. Bobby, how the heck are you? Happy Thursday.
Guys, happy Thursday. I'm awesome. It's my first show as an official member of the Pickswise team. And my Super Bowl defending Rams are kicking off tonight. It's not bad, right? I put this together. I get it right.
Not bad.
How do I get one of those? Can I get one of those hats?
I did it. I did it myself. I took it upon myself. I wanted some gear. I know some's in the mail, but I'm a fitted guy. I'm a new era guy, so this works.
Fire!
He's got the Pickswise swag.
Lauren.
He's Pickswise picking
guys.
winners. Okay, Bobby Stanley. We're betting better. Tell us how to bet better for tonight's game, Thursday Night Football. Bills taking on the Rams. Marquee game of the week. We are so excited. It's like Christmas morning. What props are you looking at specifically heading into tonight, and how are you going to win us some money?
Sure. Well, I have a few tonight. I'll start with a big name that's been thrown around. His odds have been pretty much juiced to all hell. Allen Robinson. Longest reception for Allen Robinson opened at 20.5 at minus 114. Now I think it's sitting at 23.5. I'm not sure I like it up there, but if you got it when it opened, you're feeling pretty confident. I heard you guys earlier mention no Tre'Davious White. I think the biggest mismatch in this game is the Bills' secondary against the Rams' wide receiver core, so bodes very well for Robinson. No Van Jefferson, so I think we actually see a little bit more 12 personnel, more 2 tight end sets, 2 wide receiver sets to kind of make up for that. More targets for Allen Robinson. And as far as how he's been for his entire career, this guy has 85 receptions of 20-plus yards in 84 career games. Now, that's a 1-to-1 ratio, but he did that with Blake Bortles and Mitch Trubisky throwing to him. A little bit different when you move over to Matt Stafford and a Sean McVay offense. So I do think he will be the big play wide receiver for the Rams tonight.
I really like that.
Be a fascinating game. So I'll be honest, I don't really know how I feel about Allen Robinson and the Rams wide receiver core.
Are you a Penn Stater, Jared?
Yeah, I know. And that I got shit from Todd Furman on the Pickswise Playbook show earlier this week because I bashed Allen Robinson a little bit. I said going from Odell to Allen Robinson, I thought was a step down. And I still kind of think that. I mean, again, I'm not saying Allen Robinson's a bad player, but I think Odell is much more explosive and in the prime of his career, where I would say Allen's probably on the back nine. He's entering his 9th season. So that would be the one pushback I have about the matchup advantage for the Rams at wide receiver. It's Robinson in his first game with a new quarterback. It's Ben Skoranek as the 3, and Cooper Kupp, who I love. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know if that is a better matchup than what it would have been if they had Odell on the outside with Kupp in the slot, and then Jefferson healthy and Skoranek. So I'm curious to see how that matchup plays out. Dawson Knox also on your list tonight. He just got paid. That's not a worry for you at all.
No, well, it actually it speaks to the point where Ken Dorsey, new offensive coordinator here for the Bills with Daboll leaving. What does that mean for the tight end position? What does that mean? How do they value Dawson Knox? They just showed you what they think of Dawson Knox. They paid him pretty handsomely. I think he's now paid as a top 5 wide receiver. So the line I saw it at was 35.5. It got as low as 33.5 and up to 37.5. So pretty wide range on this. I like it at 35.5. He averaged 39 yards per game last season. Great matchup defensively against this Rams defense. They play a 2 high safety zone scheme. So you're going to find little pockets for him to get open, which I think bodes well in the short and intermediate routes. I'm expecting him to see 4 or 5 targets, and at 35.5 yards, with his depth of target being around 12, it bodes well for me. The new contract matters. He had some personal things going on in the offseason. His brother recently passed away. Obviously, it's something off the field, but these are motivating factors. It's an emotional time. I think they're going to try to get him involved early and often. Wouldn't be shocked to see him get in the end zone as well.
Yeah, would you take him as an anytime touchdown right now, Dawson Knox? Because I know that Allen favors him a lot when it comes to the red zone, especially.
He is the second most targeted option in the red zone behind Stephon Diggs at about 18%. I got him at plus 210 to score a touchdown.
Wow.
Now it's down to plus 170. So earlier in the week, you got a lot more
170 was
value.
just 180 like an hour ago. People are
I was on
betting that
DraftKings.
down.
Yeah, no, it goes down. But no, I do like Dawson Knox to hopefully get one in before the end of the night.
What is
Matt Gay
your
over 2.5 extra points? That's the other one on your list. I'll be honest, that's not one that I really would ever consider betting. Lauren, have you ever bet an extra points prop before? I haven't.
Never. I've actually, I can honestly
what I bring
say,
to the table, guys.
I have never bet that in my entire life.
Neither have I.
I'm all about
Neither
it.
have
Learn
I.
something new every day, boys.
Jared, you'll appreciate this. Stay with me on the logic.
Lay it on me.
Now, the Rams' total touchdowns are over 2.5, and it's minus 165. Okay. So the books are projecting they're going to score 3 touchdowns.
Okay.
Wouldn't you rather get plus 145 and just assume they're not going to go for 2 at any point in the game?
Yes, but I'll be honest though, Bob. That's a tough one for me because
Did you just call him Bob?
I did.
Bob works.
You don't like Bob?
I also go. Bob? No, Bob works. Bob plays, guys.
Bob's
you got to get
cool.
real familiar with this.
It's too formal for Pickswise. We like Bobby.
Bobby. All right, so let's just talk it out though, because I think. So let me hold on. I need a calculator for this. I'm sorry. I'm a nerd. I need a calculator for this. What were the touchdown odds again? Minus 145?
Minus 165.
Sorry, wait.
Minus
also,
165.
Where did you pull that calculator?
I have an odds calculator on one of my tabs. Relax over there. I don't have an actual calculator that
you have
I
the
keep
T9
on my
calculator.
desk.
You about to do some calculus with her? What are we doing?
No, it's an odds calculator. It's on Pickswise.com under the reference section. You should use it every day. All right, Bobby, Robert, what are the odds of the over 2.5 touchdowns?
Over 2.5 touchdowns is minus 165.
Okay, that's 61.5% implied odds. Now give me the other one, plus 145?
Plus 145 when I got it. It's now down to plus 125. But we're going to go with when I put it in.
All right, let's go plus 145. So that's 40%. That's a 20% difference. So you have to ask yourself, in 2 out of 10 mental scenarios, does McVay go for 2 at any point in the game? I don't know. 20%
I don't think he does.
chance.
I don't think you do game 1 of the season. I don't think you do.
They've averaged 32
bet,
points
then.
per game.
Then it's a good bet.
I'm confident they're going to score. I'm confident they're going to score 3 touchdowns.
You're confident they're going to score more? I would say for me to feel safe making that bet, I would want the Rams to score 4 touchdowns. The Tom Brady 4.
Week one games under McVay, they're averaging 32 points per game. Don't let the preseason not start playing your starters fool you. They show up prepared, and you got another year of Matt Stafford in this offense, which I do think helps a lot. So I do
you have my approval, stamp of approval. It's a fair bet.
Indoors,
Matt Gay over 2.5 extra points.
You've been to SoFi. I don't know if it counts as indoors. Kickers indoors over 2.5.
It is indoors.
They have some
Absolutely
open stream
indoors.
in the middle.
Yeah, but I'll be honest. That is it's definitely indoors. There's no doubt that's an indoor stadium. If it rained, although to be fair, when there was lightning that one time and for the Chargers, they had to stop it, which was weird. That was weird.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I know what you're talking about.
I was just there, guys. I was just there for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we were both there. Remember, we rode in the car together to the game.
Jared was there too. But I will tell you guys, walking outside versus walking inside, it was hot, and then it was air conditioned.
That's true.
It's definitely inside.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Win's not a factor to me.
Yeah, I love it.
But no,
No win.
those are my go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask what your best bet is heading into tonight. Like, what is the plug that you would want everyone
Pick
to
your
bet
top prop.
heading into tonight? The one you feel most confident about.
Bob's
The
top
one I
prop.
feel the most confident about out of the three, I'm going to say it's Allen Robinson over 20.5. I don't like it at the 23.5. I don't like it at the 23.5. It currently sits at. The rapport for them coming out of training camp, he's fully integrated. And I know you mentioned it, Jared, about Allen Robinson and it kind of being a step down. There's a history of Rams taking players and seeing a resurgence in their career. Odell being one of them, Matt Stafford being one of them. I would not be shocked to see Allen Robinson fit that mold and
fair.
have one of the better years of his career.
He's had one of the worst quarterback situations in his recent history that you can even ask for. Like the Bears, it's been bad. So that's a massive step up. But again, I don't know. Maybe it's like my Penn State bias. Like I'm trying to hold down my expectations. How about this? I promised Todd that if he went over his receiving yard total this year, I'd buy an Allen Robinson jersey. So I'll make the same promise to you.
I appreciate that.
What's his number this year? I got to get that number so I know.
You're one of the more humble Nittany Lion people I've ever met. So credit to you, Jared. I work with a lot of them.
Yeah. And here I am. I'm like, Lions, Aiden Hutchinson going to kick ass heading into this season. Aiden Hutchinson going to be rookie of the year. Aiden Hutchinson, let's go. Like, I'm not
Wait, hold on. I got to get this number now. I got to get hopefully someone has this number somewhere. Receiving yards.
Yeah. Well, while you're looking for this, Bobby,
850. 850 and a half. You think we go over that this year, Bobby?
If he's healthy, there's no reason. If he's healthy,
let's go.
Anything with the season-long prop.
Fair enough.
Let's go. I like it. Last but not least, Bobby, before we let you go, who's winning this game? Money line bet.
Oh.
Who do you choose?
All right. So we know my fandom by now. We know I'm a Rams fan. Let me take off my Rams hat for a minute. How are the defending Super Bowl champions at home 2.5-point underdogs? This is absurd.
It got to 3 at South Point yesterday.
Yeah.
It got to
You're
3.
telling me on a neutral field, the Rams are 6-point underdogs.
That's what they're telling you.
It doesn't make sense to me. The last time Super Bowl champs at home were underdogs in Week 1, the Broncos, when Trevor Siemian stepped in for Peyton Manning. McVay 5-0 in Week 1 games.
Yesterday.
Super Bowl winners 19-3 in Week 1 games. None of this makes sense to me. I do think the media hype train is all around Josh Allen. Obviously, Van Jefferson matters. Odell and Von Miller not coming back matters. But Allen Robinson and Bobby Wagner are a pretty good consolation prize for losing Von Miller. I do like the Rams. I don't understand it. I don't understand where the books went on this one. I like the Rams.
I have one more suggestion that we'll throw at you before you leave. And this kind of breaks my teaser rules a little bit. But if you want some safe action for tonight's game and your book lets you do open teasers, meaning you can lock in the first leg of the teaser now, and then you don't have to do the next leg until later this week, I would put the Rams in a teaser to go to 8.5 and then just leave that puppy sitting open in your account. I think there's a couple of books that do let you do open teasers, but you got to poke around for it. That makes sense to me, right? You get if you just want like a risk-free bet tonight, not risk-free, but less risk. Put the Rams up to 8.5 in a teaser, and then you figure out the second leg on Sunday. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's fair, but it's Week 1. I want to live a little bit dangerously. I got my same game parlay. I got Rams money line. I got some 2 touchdown guys sprinkled. I mean, you might.
Why you're the prop holiday?
That's what I do, man. But no, guys,
it's what he does. It's what he does best.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. Season. I have one more thing to say. So my best bet heading into this season, I'm actually going to post a TikTok about it and post on Twitter before the season obviously starts, is to parlay the Bills winning their division and the Bucks winning their division, and you get it at plus money, plus 103. How do you feel about that? That's my best bet heading into the season.
I love that bet.
I'm terrified of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The only thing that scares Tom Brady is interior pressure, and his entire interior O-line is disheveled. And this is the first year that we've really seen him like, I'm retired. I'm not. I'm coming back. And 45 is 45, and when you
Mm-hmm.
fall, the bottom falls out pretty quick. So I do not think it'll be a slow decline for Tom Brady. I would stay away from the Bucks, or at least the NFC South. I don't know what to expect from Carolina. Could they be a dark horse
You
10-win
think that
team?
really?
Oh yeah. Are you
Wow.
Baker
I'm
Mayfield?
going to
a
quote
healthy
you on that.
Christian
It is
McCaffrey?
September 8th. Revisit
Or
this. Let's revisit this in like 2
New
months.
Orleans. I don't think Tampa is that much of a lock, and a lot of it has to do with the interior O line for me. It's big. That has always been the key to defeating Tom Brady, is making him not be able to step up in a pocket and feel comfortable. And at 45 years old, I think the only thing he wants is to feel comfortable. So I just stay away from
I think
the
the only
NFC
thing he
side.
wants, he's not like geriatric. He's 45.
Well, with the amount of plastic surgery, he doesn't look geriatric, but he would get in that
Oh,
direction
God, here
if
we
he let
go.
it happen. Sorry, guys.
I
it's a
will say
football
this,
show,
Bobby.
not-
I am on the under. I put it on the site yesterday. 3-star play on Pickswise.com. Shameless plug. Under 51 in Cowboys Bucks. For pretty much to that end. Like I think it's a strength of the Cowboys defensive line, Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, against a Bucks offensive line that probably is going to be a little bit woozy. And then with Brady maybe not being 100% on par with new receiver Julio Jones, with some injuries, for the Bucks offensive weapons. And then on the other side for the Cowboys, I mean, offensive line problems. They signed Jason Peters this week. Okay.
Yeah.
No Michael Gallup. Of course, the Bucks defense is elite, especially up front. So I could see that game being a sloppy one on Sunday night. I could see that being 24-21 kind of game, where a late field goal wins it kind of thing.
Love the under on that game, especially at the 51 and a half. I think it got bet down to 49 and a half at some point. Now it's
going to come back up, I think. I think it'll
no.
touch 51 again, and then it'll come back down from there. 51's a key total. It's the most landed on total in the NFL the last 5 years. So that's kind of the line in the sand that I drew.
No. I'm out of irony on that, man. I think we're going under in game one on that one.
Yeah, agreed.
Bobby Stanley, prop holiday. We so appreciate you. Thanks so much for coming on the show. Best of luck with your Thursday Night Football bets. We're revisiting this Panthers thing that we were talking about in about 2 months, okay?
Oh, she's writing your name down on a list somewhere, Bobby.
I literally have my notebook and I'm writing my list down. I'm ready.
Call
September
out Bobby
8th
in November for when the Panthers are 3-9. Okay, I got it.
For when Baker Mayfield goes off the rails completely and starts shooting progressive commercials in the Panthers' new stadium or some crazy stuff.
God bless. God bless.
Guys, thank you so much.
Bobby,
I can't wait to talk more sports the rest of the season. Good luck on your bets. Go Rams.
Yay.
Love the swag,
Thank you. Go Rams, baby. Love it. That was Bobby Stanley, prop holiday. Before we get into our best bets, Jared, let's talk about Superbook for a second because they're a new sponsor of our show. I love it. Let's bet it. Presented by Superbook Sportsbook. Go to superbook.com or download the app today. And this season, we are rooting for a ton of safeties. Superbook Sports will give you a $50 bonus on each safety scored this season. How easy is that? Visit superbook.com for the terms and conditions. Thank you, Superbook. We love you. Make sure to check them out. All right, let's go to Pickswise.com. 3-star play of the day. Who we got today?
Do we want to do line move?
I forgot about the week one.
Are we throwing that out?
No,
Lauren just
moves.
wants to just breeze right to the play of the day. She's so excited.
I'm so excited about my first quarter under. But okay. Let's talk about
I've never seen someone more excited about a first
one.
quarter under in my entire life.
I know. I'm going to get the under sweats. I'm actually kind of stressed about it.
You are. That's an intense under sweat, too. Under. One touchdown and you're in trouble on that opening drive there.
I know. Geez. I'm actually kind of stressed out about it. It's going to be 15 minutes of pure stress, but I'm here for it. Okay, line movement heading into week one. Let's first of all take a look at the Chiefs, who are in Arizona taking on the Cardinals. The Chiefs on Monday were the 4.5-point favorites. Now they're 6-point favorites against the Cardinals. Why is this line moving the way that it is?
Well, it's a great question. I actually asked the bookmaker this question last night. Sadly, it was late. He did not respond to me. So I do not have a official sportsbook answer, but I can glean maybe why it moved. and maybe someone caught wind of something happening in the Arizona locker room, an injury that we were unaware of. It was a curious move. Of the moves on this list, it's the only one that I really can't explain logically right now, because it already had moved a decent amount to begin with. So this line opened in the 3.5 range, and it already moved to 4.5 in the weeks leading up to, yesterday, Monday. But from there, I really can't explain why this jumped to 6. Pretty impactful move. Not a huge move. 5 is kind of no man's land in the NFL, but it got to 6, which was interesting. I doubt it gets further than that, but it was a pretty interesting move, and I'll be fascinated to see how this one plays out. Listen, Cliff Kingsbury early on in the season has been fantastic. 42-20 in weeks 1 through 7 in his career, dating back to his time as a head coach with Texas Tech. A lot of drama surrounding Arizona this offseason with Kyler Murray. I don't know what that offense will look like without DeAndre Hopkins for the first few weeks, but Marquise Brown steps in. We'll see what that impact is. My bet on this game, if it gets to anything higher, you have to consider betting Arizona as that big of a home underdog in week 1. But this move was curious. I don't have a definitive answer on why it moved so much in such a short period of time.
Well, I hope Patty Ice just absolutely goes off, because I have him as my fantasy quarterback. So let's go Patty Ice. Let's go Chiefs. Let's go laying 6 points. I'm all about it. Okay, let's take it to Miami. We're going to Miami, where the Pats, the Patriots, are taking on the Dolphins. Monday, the line was set at 3. Dolphins 3-point favorites. Today, Dolphins now 3.5-point favorites. An extra hook was added. Not too much movement, but a little bit, and significant enough for us to talk about it on the show.
Yeah, and I'll even add to that. On my screen right now, Circa just went to 4. So I wouldn't be shocked if we saw some 4s pop up in the market over the next 24 to 48 hours. It looks like it's trending in that direction. This was a big mover in the offseason. This line opened 2.5, and it moved through that key number of 3 to 3.5. That is as impactful of a move as you're going to see in any NFL game all year. When it crosses that barrier from 2.5, 3, and then it keeps going to 3.5, now 4, that is very bullish. The market, the sharp money, very bullish on the Miami Dolphins this season. I understand why. You bring in Tyreek Hill to go with Jalen Waddle and Tua and Mike McDaniel. New scheme. Defense still very solid. Josh Boyer, 3rd year now as defensive coordinator, bringing over that scheme from the Patriots. I think one of the best secondaries in the league with Jones and Howard. And you have this new revamped offensive line with Taron Armstead at left tackle, Connor Williams at center. There's a lot of things to like about Miami this year. I bet over 9 their win total, parlayed with that Michigan win total that we talked about last week. And I feel like they win this game. I think it's a good survivor pick this week too, because it's, how often you get to pick a team that's only laying 3.5 and you feel really positive about where the market's moving in their favor. So I would say this is one that I would go with, even though laying 4 is tricky on a game that opened 2.5. But I feel confident that we're selling New England and we're buying Miami this season, and the market clearly agrees with that sentiment.
Yeah, I really like that, actually. And so we're going to see how that plays out here in week 1. Last but not least, another line movement as we take it to Broadway in Tennessee. The Titans taking on the New York Giants. The Giants, obviously, with a new coach. It's going to be interesting to see what Brian Dable's able to do for that team. Monday, the Titans were 6-point favorites. Today, the Titans 5.5-point favorites. People are liking the Giants.
Ooh. I don't have a ton of context to add here. I can tell you that this line has been sinking lower. Like I will be sinking lower into my couch later tonight watching this Rams Bills game. There'll be an ass groove at the end of the night that's shaped like my booty. But this thing opened 6.5. And again, I don't have a ton of context here as to why. I think it makes sense if you think about Tennessee losing Saffold and Quisenberry on the offensive line. Ryan Tannehill is a year older. Julio Jones, A.J. Brown are gone. I know they brought in Burks, but that's an uncertain question at wide receiver. And their defense was better, but still very below average last year. Meanwhile, the Giants have some buzz. Daniel Jones, we think, is healthy. Brian Dable, new scheme. There's a shroud of mystery around his scheme and what he's going to do with the Giants in year one. So I can see this game being close. It's a low total game, in the mid to low 40s, really, 43.5, pretty low total. So yeah, I can see why the smart money would want to take the points and move this thing down, but I don't think it's going to get much lower than this. And I would imagine we might see some Tennessee money pop up in the market as we get closer to game day.
I like it. I really do. We'll keep you in touch with all of the other line movement that's probably going to happen between today and Sunday, depending on different news that's going to be popping up about these teams after training camp. We'll make sure to keep you posted on it. And we have our first Sunday show this week, week 1 NFL Sunday show, talking nothing but what we're going to see on Sunday's game. So stay in touch for that. Stay in tune for that. We'll hit you with all of it. And again, I need to mention Superbook one more time because we are rooting for safeties. Superbook Sports or Superbook, they're going to give you a $50 bonus on each safety scored this season. So visit superbook.com for terms and conditions. Okay, Pickswise.com, Jared. 3-star play of the day. Who do we got for today?
There's a lot going on today. So we haven't mentioned any baseball today. It's not a great baseball card, but Wise Guys got a run line play on the Nats Cardinals game. I mentioned Clev TA's NFL prop, Josh Allen, over 35.5 attempts. I bet 36.5. That is my one NFL pick of the day that we are giving out on this show from my end. Obviously, Lauren has a few, and so did Prop Holiday. Chris Occasion's got some college football for Saturday. UTSA, Army, Western Michigan, Ball State. Our boy Mark Zinno also has a pick on the site for Tennessee, Pittsburgh. Caleb Wolfinger, Colorado Air Force. If you like college football picks, I would go to Pickswise.com right now and check it out because we have a plethora for you to choose from and a little baseball just in case you want to wet your whistle on the diamond today. No diamonds for LJ yet, but diamonds for the baseball picks today.
No diamonds for me.
Although I owe you an anniversary gift after yesterday.
Oh.
Happy anniversary.
Likewise.
1 year.
Happy anniversary. Oh, how sweet. 1 year. This is week 1.2. Week 1, second season. Let's go. Yeah. We're making it happen, guys.
Do it.
So yeah, happy anniversary. Oh, how cute is that? On that note, let's win some money. Let's get into our best bets today. I already mentioned mine and what it's going to kind of be. But I'll just let you know. It is first quarter under 10 at -120. Some of these sports books are offering 9.5. I got it at 10. I locked it in. I think you can still get 10 on a few different sports books. But I just feel like, and I know 10's a low number. I know how good the offenses are, how good the quarterbacks are. Defense is going to be big early because the offenses are dipping their toes into a new playbook, especially on the Bills side, and neither team's really wanting to make the first big mistake, right? You look at the offensive coordinator in Ken Dorsey, promoted for the Bills with the departure of Brian Dable. He's calling plays for his first time ever. Also, Buffalo's offense underwent a little bit of a facelift this offseason. And I know the LA pass rush makes it tough for a lot of O-lines. They break them down. They're going to be one of the league's best defenses at getting to quarterbacks. And Sean McVay probably is going to try to disrupt Josh Allen early. He's not going to want to let him make big plays, set the tone for this game. And especially playing at home at SoFi Stadium. LA's offense last season was really pass heavy after Cam Akers got hurt. Now they need to find that rhythm again to balance out the offense. But again, Akers is healthy. They're going to mix in a lot of handoffs. They're going to try to keep the ball away from Josh Allen and test the Bills' defense. But again, without White, for the Bills, I think Matt Stafford could also take advantage of the passing game, but they're not going to want to make those big pass plays early. Again, no one's going to want to make those big mistakes. The full game total makes me a little bit nervous. I would definitely bet the over for that, but I think it's going to be a slow start, and a defensive game is going to be happening in that first quarter. And going back to 2010, NFL openers have averaged 8.3 points per game in the first quarter. And 8 of those 12 openers have had 7 or less points recorded. Both teams have the top 2 defenses in the league. They ranked 2 and 3 in defensive DVOA in first quarters last year between the Bills and the Rams, 2 and 3. And then also on top of all that, they have the ceremony, the Super Bowl, whatever ceremony that they're having, whatever you want to call it. So these guys are warming up for the game. Then they have to wait 10 to 12 to 15 minutes, however long that ceremony is going to be. Their bodies are going to cool down. You're not going to get right back out there and get into it. We see similar things happen in Super Bowl games when they do all of those like big introductions. It's a production. That's what we're going to see in LA. So between the defenses, both teams kind of dipping their toes in the playbook, the ceremony that's going on, and the trend that 8 of the last 12 openers have had 7 or less points recorded, 8.3 points per game for the last 12.
Stat.
I feel really good about this first quarter under. I'm going to be sweating my ass off sitting on my couch watching that first quarter under for the first 15 minutes. But you know what? You got to risk it for the biscuit sometimes. And I like the value. You're only laying 20 cents for it. So let's lock it in, baby.
I love it. LJ is confident. She's got the nuggets to back it up, and they ain't chicken nuggets, at least not yet. Maybe those will come later. So it is kind of ironic. I love that it's like the bookend that, first of all, it's cool that we were both at the last NFL game at SoFi. Do you think they'll bring in The Rock to do the intro like he did at the Super Bowl?
They have to.
You can smell what The Rock is cooking. No, you think they're going to bring him in?
I will say, that guy is literally a rock. Like, his whole body is just like rock.
Aptly named, as they say. That's the hard-hitting analysis we give you here on Pickswise. His body is literally
that, and the fact that every single time that Jennifer Lopez has gotten married, Tom Brady has won a championship. Hard-hitting stuff that you're getting here on Pickswise. Just saying. It's happened 4 times. He's won 4 championships in the 4 years that Jennifer Lopez has gotten married. And guess who tied the knot back in June?
Oh, stop.
Jennifer, I'm not saying to bet the Bucs to win the Super Bowl, but I'm not saying to bet the Bucs to win the Super Bowl.
You remember, so my play of the day, do you remember this old infomercial about this like rotisserie grill? And the saying was, set it and forget it. Do you remember that infomercial?
No.
Does anyone in the chat remember that infomercial? Set it and forget it. Well, that's what this bet is that we're giving out tonight. We gave it out yesterday. The Marlins team total under has hit now 25 out of the last 30 games with 2 pushes. It's 25, 3, and 2 in the last 30 games. That is a 90% hit rate on the Marlins team total under 3.5. I laid 28 cents over at Boyd, FanDuel, same thing. I think you could still get that price readily available in the market. This is a set it and forget it bet until it loses. And we are going to keep betting it, just like we bet Cardinals money line last year during their insane streak in September. We are going to keep betting this as our play of the day, even on an NFL Sunday. I don't care. This is going to be our play of the day until it loses. Kyle Gibson starts for Philly tonight. Marlins-Phillies, by the way, afternoon game at the bank, Citizens Bank Park. Kyle Gibson's got decent numbers against Miami in his career, 259 average and 119 plate appearances. He is coming off his worst start of his career, maybe, definitely his worst start of the season. 7 earned runs in 1 2/3 on the road, though, at the Giants last week. Prior to that, 7 scoreless against the Pirates with 9 Ks. If I had to grade this lineup, the Marlins lineup, I would put them much more in the Pirates category than the Giants or any legitimate offensive category. He's made 4 starts against the Marlins this season. The last 3 of them, Miami has stayed under 3.5 runs in those games. Just 1 start all the way back on April 14th. He gave up 4 runs. The Marlins won that game 4-3. There's not a whole lot of analysis to offer here other than the Marlins offense is really bad, and this prop just keeps hitting. Shout out to David Bierman from ESPN who gave it, put me onto this. He's been betting it for the last month. We've only caught on the last couple of nights, but we're going to keep hammering it. Marlins team total under 3.5 for the second night in a row. Set it and forget it, baby.
Set it and forget it. Honestly, one of the worst or the worst offense in Major League Baseball. Yeah. Set it and forget it. I like it.
Ronco Showtime Rotisserie Barbecue Oven. Joseph Gomez remembers it. Thank you, Joseph.
Set the timer.
Thank you, Joseph Gomez in the chat
for making me think smart. Night football going on tonight. Bills, Rams. That's it for us today, guys. Find us on the Pickswise YouTube channel. Go Pickswise.com. Follow us on Twitter. Jared Smith, Lauren Jabara. We'll see you tomorrow. Thursday Night Football. Let's get it. Let's bet it.